What if I told you that you can turn a cheap and abundant resource like water into an everyday consumer product with recurring sales using reverse osmosis water purification machines imported from China? We're not talking about a cute idea to dream about. We're talking about a real business. People buy water every single day, and more people want water that's reliable, clean, tastes good, without living with the doubt of, is this one actually good? Today, I'm going to show you the full map to build this business like a company, not like a quick hustle. You're going to understand how a reverse osmosis microplant works, what complementary equipment you need to sell with confidence, how to choose the right capacity, how to build a model that sells by subscription instead of by luck, and how to scale so it stops being self-employment and becomes a profitable operation. Stay until the end because I'm going to give you 3 clear routes. One to start with little, another to start strong, and another to scale seriously. And I'm also going to tell you what the one piece is that separates the people who sell a little water from the people who build a brand that takes the market. And if you want to learn how to bring your machine without improvising, in the video description, I'll leave you the link to the step-by-step importing guide from China with the right logic to compare suppliers and choose well. Section 1. Context and Opportunity. Water is an anti-crisis business. There are businesses that live off a trend, and when the trend cools down, it's over. Water works the opposite way. Water is not a trend. Water is a necessity. And that's why the purified water business is one of the most stable businesses that exist, especially when you build it with a system. Now, why is this market growing so much? Because people are buying confidence. There are places where the water is drinkable, yes, but the consumer doesn't feel safe. Sometimes because of the taste, sometimes because of the smell, sometimes because of the color, sometimes because of stories they heard. And when the consumer feels doubt, they pay for peace of mind. That's the first reason. The second reason is convenience. When you sell water in large refillable jugs, botellón, when you do home delivery, when you set up refill points, you make consumption easy. The customer doesn't want to think. They want to solve it and continue with their life. And the third reason is economics. People want to save per liter without sacrificing quality. That's why refills and jug service become habits, because it's more cost efficient, and at the same time, it reduces the use of single-use bottles in many cases. So with an entrepreneur's mindset, the opportunity is not only purifying water. The opportunity is building a repeatable service, a product the customer needs every week, a business with repeat purchase, with flow, with recurrence. That's the business dream. Selling something that doesn't depend on a stroke of luck, but on a habit. Section 2. What reverse osmosis is and why it's the base of everything. Reverse osmosis sounds sophisticated, but the idea is simple. It's a filtration system that uses pressure to push water through a very thin membrane, separating a large part of impurities, dissolved salts, and particles. Don't look at it as a machine. Look at it as the engine of a microfactory. A typical plant starts with pretreatment. Here, sediments are removed and taste is improved. This step is key because it protects the membrane, and the membrane is one of the most important components of the system. Then comes the pressure, generated by pumps, which pushes the water through the membrane. And finally, the treated water is stored, stabilized, and prepared for consumption. What matters to you as an entrepreneur is not reciting the technical definition. What matters to you is this: reverse osmosis lets you standardize. And standardization is the foundation of a profitable business. Because if today the water tastes good, and tomorrow it tastes weird, no brand can survive that. People don't argue with water. They simply go where they trust more. Section 3. The Water Microfactory. The difference between buying a machine and building a company. This is where most people get it wrong. They buy a reverse osmosis unit and think they already have the business built. And then they get frustrated because problems show up. Operations, quality, presentation, logistics, reputation. Reverse osmosis is the heart, yes, but the real business is one with the complete system. Think of your venture as a production line. You bring in raw water, you transform it with a stable process, and you deliver a flawless final product. That means that beyond reverse osmosis, you need components that protect your operation and equipment that turns the process into a sellable product. You need pre-filtration to prevent critical elements from getting damaged. You need storage so you don't depend on producing in real time every time someone buys. You need a final disinfection stage because the customer buys confidence, and you must deliver consistent water. And if you're going to sell in jugs or containers, you need a stable filling method because slow, dirty, or inconsistent filling costs you time, costs you reputation, and costs you customers. And here's what almost nobody tells you. In the water business, presentation and hygiene are not details. They are your brand. A clear label, a visible date, a clean container, and on-time delivery are worth more than any speech. The customer doesn't know your membrane. They know the jug, the taste, and your service. Section 4. What the business looks like in real life. 4 scenarios that work. This business is not just one thing. There are several ways to operate depending on your market, your budget, and your strategy. Some people set up a physical refill and sales point, like a water house, where people go, refill, buy, and return out of habit. That model depends a lot on location, reputation, and cleanliness. When it's done right, it generates daily flow and a lot of repeat purchase locally. Some people focus on home-delivered water jugs. That model is powerful because you can turn it into a subscription. And when you turn water into a subscription, the business changes. You're no longer going out to sell. Now you manage routes, you manage repetition, you manage volume, and that's a company. Some people sell to businesses, restaurants, cafes, hotels, gyms, industrial kitchens. This B2B model gives you volume and consistency, but it demands that you be serious, punctual deliveries, stable quality, and fast response capacity. B2. B does not forgive improvisation. And there's a model that can be brutal when it's done with intelligence. Self-service refill stations, strategically placed where the customer refills quickly. That model can scale very well if you have maintenance, location, and control, because it lets you grow without depending so much on labor. The important thing is that you choose your scenario before you buy, because a plant designed for large jugs is not the same as a plant designed for small bottles, and it's not operated the same, and it's not sold the same. Section 5. The simplest and most powerful market study. Before you invest, you don't need an academic study. You need the street. You need to understand the habit in your city or your neighborhood. First, look at how much people pay today for the water they consume. Not only the price, but the format. Large jug, bags, small bottles, refill. Second, identify the real pain. Do people complain about taste? About price? About late deliveries? About the container coming dirty? Third, observe who dominates the market. Is there a strong brand? Are there many small sellers? Is there nobody serious? Fourth, identify zones with density and consumption. Residential neighborhoods, commercial areas, gyms, schools, clinics, restaurants. With those answers, your strategy becomes obvious. If the pain is price, you sell savings per liter with service. If the pain is trust, you sell quality, hygiene, and brand. If the pain is logistics, you sell route and punctuality. The water business is one with clarity, knowing what problem you solve better than everyone else. Section 6. Numbers with logic. What truly defines profitability. Now, yes, let's talk money. This business can be very profitable, but not because of fantasy, because of structure. The margin comes from 2 things: controlled costs and high repeat purchase. Your costs are not only the machine. Your costs are electricity, filters, membranes, maintenance, containers, labeling, transportation, cleaning, and above all, time. The entrepreneur who doesn't calculate maintenance is condemning themselves to have a business that shuts down. Because in water, if a component fails and you go 2 days without producing, you lose trust. And losing trust in this business is losing customers. The right way to think about this is not how much a machine costs. It's how much it costs me to produce a liter and how much I sell it for while adding the real-world operation. Because this business is built with consistency, not with one good day. If you set up a medium-capacity plant and build a model of recurring customers, your income becomes predictable. And predictable income is what lets you reinvest, upgrade equipment, expand routes, and grow. Most people want to grow first. The winners build recurrence first. Section 7. Importing from China intelligently. How to choose the right machine without falling into traps. Importing from China can be a huge advantage if you do it right, because you find good capacities at competitive prices. But it can also be a disaster if you buy from emotion, from the cheapest price, or from a pretty catalog. The first step is to define the product before the equipment. Are you going to sell large jugs, small bottles, refills, B2B? Because that defines your capacity, your tanks, your filling system, your space, and your operation. The second step is to choose capacity based on demand, not based on ego. Many people buy a huge machine without having customers and then drown in costs. Or they buy a machine that's too small, and when they get customers, they can't keep up and they let people down. In this business, letting people down is deadly. The third step is to demand proof, real operating videos, component specifications, spare parts list, manual, warranty, and support. Don't buy only from photos. And something key, think about spare parts and compatibility. A plant that depends on rare parts, hard-to-find parts, or overly specific parts becomes a long-term trap. The water business is not won the day the machine arrives. It's won over the next 24 months with constant operation. The fourth step is to think like a company. The machine is not an expense, it's a productive asset. Your mindset can't be how cheap I got it. Your mindset must be how much it produces, how stable it is, and how much it costs me to keep it producing. Section 8. Quality and Trust. The real marketing of the water business. Here is a truth that will save you years. In water, the most powerful marketing is trust. And trust is built with processes, with hygiene, and with consistency. Your customer doesn't have a lab. Your customer judges with their senses and with experience. If the water tastes the same every time, if the container is clean every time, if you deliver on time every time, if you respond quickly when someone texts, the customer adopts you. And when they adopt you, it becomes a habit. And when it becomes a habit, your business becomes strong. And also, depending on your country and your city, it's very common for there to be sanitary requirements and regulations to produce and sell water for human consumption. Don't see it as an obstacle. See it as a competitive advantage. Because while many people improvise, the one who runs things with standards takes the market. Your goal is not to sound more technical. Your goal is for the customer to say, I trust this place. Section 9. Sales Strategy. How to fill your operation from day one. The sales plan for this business is not complicated, but it does require a system. Your first goal is not to get 1,000 customers. Your first goal is to get a small but recurring base. A group of people who buy every week, because the big money doesn't come from selling once. It comes from selling 100 times to the same customer over the year. Start with an entry offer that reduces risk. It can be a first refill with an incentive, a first jug with a benefit, or an initial delivery at no cost. The goal is that they try it. Then turn it into a habit with a fixed route. Don't improvise deliveries. Set days. People love predictability. When you say, I deliver Tuesdays and Fridays, The purchase becomes automatic. Use WhatsApp as a system, not as chaos. Confirmation, reminder, customer list, route control. And then activate social proof, real testimonials, reviews, photos of your operation, without exaggerating, without inventing. Water doesn't need spectacle, it needs credibility. If you want to accelerate, go into B2B. One well-done visit to restaurants, cafes, gyms, and hotels can be worth more than 100 messages. Present yourself as a serious supplier. Punctual delivery, consistent quality, volume pricing, and fast response. Section 10. Scalability. How to go from selling water to building a company. Scaling this business is like scaling a micro factory. First, you secure stable production. Then you secure stable logistics. Then you strengthen the brand. Then you expand channels. At the beginning, your focus is that everything works without failures, that the plant produces well, that the water is stable, that the filling is clean, that the containers are impeccable, that delivery is punctual. When that becomes routine, that's when growth comes. The next level is optimization. Times, routes, cost per liter, scheduled maintenance. Because margin grows when you control the operation, not when you dream bigger. And the level that changes the game is duplicating the system. A second point, a second route, a second plant, one more self-service station, a big B2B agreement. At that point, you're not selling water anymore. You're managing a distribution system. And that, in any market, is where real companies are built. Section 11. Entrepreneurial mindset. The final truth about the water business. I'll tell you directly, this business can change your life, but not because of the machine. It changes your life because of the system you build around it. The machine produces water, but the system produces money, and that system is quality control, maintenance, routes, customer service, brand, cleanliness, recurrence, and reinvestment. There are two types of people: the ones who buy a machine hoping money will arrive by itself, and the ones who buy a machine to build an operation. Water does not reward the improviser. It rewards the one who repeats well. If you do this with discipline, you'll realize something. The big money here is not in making water. It's in getting the customer to say, "I don't buy anywhere else anymore." And when you achieve that with an everyday consumer product, you've just built a solid business foundation. If you want to start a real business with machines, the reverse osmosis water business is one of the most solid routes that exists. Daily necessity, high repeat purchase, and the ability to scale with a system. And if you want to do it smart, in the description I'll leave you the link to the importing guide from China, with the step-by-step to bring your machine, how to request quotes, how to compare suppliers, what signals to check to avoid mistakes, and how to choose the right model based on your budget and your market. Hit like, subscribe, and leave a comment with this. In your city, how much does the large water jug cost, and how often do people buy it? Because with that data, I can tell you which model fits you best. Physical point, home delivery, B2B, or refill station. See you in the next video.